योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचं मां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञा भक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चाभिभृता नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Start from 17. विद्यामार्गमुपैति गोपि पुरुषः प्रक्षीणपापो रमानुग्रहतो यतो यममृतः श्रोतुं प्रवक्तुं नृणाम् ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुमविप्रदुर्लभतरः प्रोक्तोऽप्यसम्यग्विदाः न ज्ञेयो बहुचिन्तयाप्यनुतरः अतर्क्यो यदात्मा परः। वेदान्तप्रतिपादितात्मविषया नैवापनीयामतिः तर्केणान्यसमीरणेन च बुधा विष्णुप्रसादादिता प्राप्यैनामपि हन्तमृत्युरपि हा चित्वाग्निमापत्पदम् याम्यं स्वर्गमतो न कामविषयः भूयाद्विपश्चित् क्वचित्। यश तं दुर्दर्शमनुप्रविष्टममलं गूढं गुहायां स्थितं रत्नं गह्वरगं जहाति कुशलः ज्ञात्वा तु हर्षं शुचम् श्रुत्वा ब्रह्मगुरोर्मुखादनुतरम् धर्म्यं पृथक्कृत्य तत् स्वाङ्गादेर्मननादिनात्मविभवात् ज्ञेयो हि धीरेण सह। ओमित्येतदयं पदं श्रुतिगणः ब्रूते समस्तस्तपस्तोमोदः प्रतिपत्तये भवति वा तद्ब्रह्मचर्यं बुधाः कामेनास्य चरन्त्यतः परमिदं ब्रह्माक्षरं चापरं श्रेष्ठालम्बनमेतदेत्यभजते विद्वान् पुरं ब्रह्मणः। धर्माधर्मकृता कृतागतगता यास्यत्पदार्थेतरः नोत्पन्नो न मृतोऽक्षरो न जनकः ध्रुवः आत्मासो निहतेव पुष्यनिहतो कर्ता पुराणः पुमान् हन्तारं च हतं येन मयते मूढः सदेहात्मधृत्। Okay, next I will say, you repeat. योनीयाननुतो महंश्च महतः योनीयाननुतो महंश्च महतः योनीयाननुतो महांश्च महतः जन्तोर्गुहायां स्थितः जन्तोर्गुहायां स्थितः जन्तोर्गुहायां स्थितः निष्कामो निष्कामो यति धात्वनुग्रहवशात् निष्कामो यति धात्वनुग्रहवशात् निष्कामो यति धात्वनुग्रहवशात् यं शोकनाशं ततः यं शोकनाशं ततः यं शोकनाशं ततः आसीनोऽपि सुदूरमेति च शयन् आसीनोऽपि सुदूरमेति च शयन् आसीनोऽपि सुदूरमेति च शयन् यः सर्वतो यात्यहो यः सर्वतो यात्यहो यः सर्वतो यात्यहो कस्तं वेत्तु मदामदं रविसुतात् कस्तं वेत्तु मदामदं रविसुतात् कस्तं वेत्तु मदामदं रविसुतात् देवं परोर्वाक्तनः देवं परोर्वाक्तनः देवं परोर्वाक्तनः. In the fourth quarter, Vettum is not correct. It should be only Vettu. Okay, yesterday Aradhana was asking, so how can there be a metrical violence, violation done by Ramaraya? Okay, because she has this objection, we will correct it to Vettu. Kastam Vettu Madam. Okay, so we started discussing the meaning of this verse, verse number 22, which I told is a summary of mantra 20 and 21. Mantra 20 and 21 in the Kathopanishad, so go like this. See, Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan Atma Sajantor Nihito Guhayan Tamakratus Pashyati Vita Shokaha Dhatu Prasadan Mahimanamaatmanaha. So this is what we have. Dhatu Prasadan Mahimanam Atmanaha. There is some interesting commentary, so I would like to ask you if any of you would like to follow. See the commentary of this mantra which has been given by Bhagavad Pada. So here he says, Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. So this is something which you will find in many places, as I told you. So here the commentary goes like this. Kaf punaratmanan janatiti. Who will know? Kaf punaha atmanan janatiti. This is the avatarika that he used. Uchyate. I tell you. Who? Anoho sukshmat aniyan mahataha mahiyan jantoho nihitaha guhayam. All that he says, and finally he says, akratuhu pashyati. Kaha janati, akratuhu janati. Akratuhu means akamaha. So there are a few other things also which I would like to elaborate. What do we actually understand by Anoho Aniyan? Anoho Aniyan. Mahataha Mahiyan. In fact, if we look at the commentary of Ramaraya, he actually brings it slightly differently. I will come back to this commentary of Bhagavad Pada after reading only one line of this commentary. So if you take Ramaraya's commentary, he says, Yaha Anutaha Anorapi Aniyan. Anoho Aniyan. Aniyan, so as you all know, how does it come? Iyasun Pratyay. So anutaraha. Okay. Anoho aniyan. Then mahataha mahiyan. Similarly, the same usage. Now, Ramaraya says, you are describing one person, okay, Atman, as Anoho aniyan mahataha mahiyan. So, how do you comprehend the two? Smaller than the smallest, or rather, this much smaller than the smaller, you can say, okay, and mahataha mahiyan, bigger than the bigger. So, this is how one can translate in English. Now, he says, Paramanutva paramamahatvayoho samanadhikaranya yogat aparichedyaha ityartha. See, this is something which is very important to understand. Samanadhikaranyam means existing in one place. So, this is what is called Samanadhikaranyam. So, here suppose, so in this room, if you want, so this room is the space which we are discussing now. So, if two people are sitting here, so then you can say Samanadhikaranyam. Okay. So, if you conceive of IIT, so there may be 3-4 people in IIT who are attending this. All of them have Samanadhikaranyam. If you take Mumbai as the Adhikarana, so then those who are in Mumbai will have Samanadhikaranyam. Okay, that may be around 8-10 people. But then this, if you take the entire globe, then all of us are sitting in the globe, there is a Samanadhikaranyam. So, in one entity, if things can be justified to be residing, then you say Samanadhikaranyam. In other words, they will say Ekadhikarana Vrittitvam. Okay. Samanadhikaranyam means Ekadhikarana Vrittitvam, residing in the same locus. Now, these two properties which you are trying to describe, smaller than the smaller, bigger than the bigger, how can it be in one and the same entity? And if you are describing the entity to be so, then what do you understand from the entity? The nature of the entity. So, that he is trying to bring out here, Paramanutva Paramamahatvayoho Samanadhikaranya Ayogat. Ayogat means because this is not something which can be accepted. Okay. Ayogat, what is the meaning that you have to understand? Aparichedyaha ityartha. Aparichedyaha means he does not have any kind of limitation. So then you have to think now. So you can think of Anoho aniyan, mahataha mahiyan. So then it neither can be described as Anu nor can be described as Mahat. So it is the Upadhi which can be Anu or Upadhi which can be Mahat. Okay. So it does not belong to the domain of the Atman but only to the domain of the Upadhi, and therefore you can describe it as Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. Now let us come back to Bhagavad Pada's commentary. Katham punaha atmanam janati iti uchyate anoho sukshmat aniyan shyamakader anutaraha. See, Shyamakader anutaraha. He is giving an example. Shyamaka is the name of a millet. One kind of millet is called Shyamaka. Okay. Shyamakader anutaraha, much smaller than. So this millet is something which is quite small, you know. Okay. Shyamakader anutaraha. Then Mahataha Mahat Parimanat Mahiyan. For giving an example of Mahat, he chooses Prithvi itself. Okay. Mahat Taraha Prithivyadehe. Much bigger than Prithvi. Then he moves on and then says, Anu Mahadva Yadasti Loke Vastu. Whatever entity that you can think of in this world, whether it is small or big, Anu Mahadva Yadasti Loke Vastu Tat Teniva Atmana Nityena Atmavat Sambhavati. This is what he is trying to explain to us from these phrases. whether it is a small entity or a big entity, tenaiva atmana atmavat sambhavati. Tenaiva atmana. So this atman that you are trying to refer, so this becomes atmavat. So it possesses self because of this self. Literally, atmana atmavat means it possesses self because of this self. Now let us understand, see, this with a simple example. So nowadays we get very tiny. So we have some tiny bulbs in this laptop, mobile, etc. Right? Very tiny LED. Okay. So that also glows. So this tube light also glows. Okay. So we have a flashlight that also glows. So these may have a few lumens. Some may have 1 lumen, 3 lumens. And if you think of a projector lamp, let us say, okay, that will have some thousands of lumens. Then you think of huge light that is being emitted by the sun. Okay, that if you calculate, it will have some lakh lumens and so on above that. Okay, you can create that kind of a brightness even here. The moment you see that bulb, that's all gone. You can no more see. Okay, that is what will happen. Even with flashlight, when you go and make some projections, this projector lamp, if it comes, the eye becomes somewhat blind at that time for a moment. Okay, that few thousand lumens itself, this is a big problem. Okay, now the reason I am saying this is, think of all these elements. So starting from the LED in your mobile, okay, to that kind of a brightness which you can bring in, so lakhs of lumens. So what is it? This can emit light only if there is electricity. So tenaiva atmana atmavat sambhavati. So all these are upadhis. You understand? So which bring in some facet of it. So similarly, there is a Chaitanya. So that is what we are trying to refer to here. Tenaiva atmana atmavat sambhavati. And therefore, Shruti says, anoraniyan mahato mahiyan. Okay. Atmavat sambhavati tadatmana vinirmuktam arhat sampadyate tasmat asadeva tasmat aso asaveva atma anoraniyan mahato mahiyan. And further he says, sarvanama rupa vastupadhikatvat. So he has upadhi of sarvanama rupa. Okay. So these are only upadhis for that Chaitanya. Okay. Upadhikatvat saja atma asya jantoho brahmadistamba paryantasya pranijatasya guhayam hridaye nihitaha atma bhutaha sthitaha ityarthaha. Then he says, tam atmanam darshana shravana manana vijnana lingam. It's a beautiful description. So in this phrase, he has captured the entire Kenopanishad. Darshana shravana manana vijnana lingam. Lingam means, so if these things are happening, it is because of this Chaitanya. Edat sarvam tasya suchakam, tasya astitve suchakam. Okay, darshana shravana manana vijnana lingam. Then akratuhu akamaha drishta drishtabahya vishayebhyaha uparata buddhihi. Akratuhu here means, kratuhu can mean sankalpa. So this sankalpa actually leads to kama. See, so the other day I was quoting this verse. See, I don't know if Aradhana remembers. Let me see. Kamajanami te moolam sankalpat kilajayase naham sankalpayishyami katham tum hi bhavishyasi. So kratuhu can mean sankalpa. In fact, in yaga, you make this sankalpa, and therefore that is also called as kratu. Okay, so kratuhu. So now akratuhu. Now the sankalpa and kama are very, very, very closely related. Okay, therefore this shabda can be used for that and that for this. So here he is saying akratuhu akamaha. Okay, so that is how he is bringing out the meaning. Drishta drishtavahya vishayebhyaha uparata buddhihi ityarthaha. Yadacha evam, whenever this person is so, yadacha evam, tada mana adini karanani dhatavaha. This is a very, very important thing. In fact, we have this phrase in the next line. See, the first line of this verse is anoraniyan mahato mahiyan atma sajantoho nihito guhayam. Why is he described as someone who is residing? Tatra upalabdhyamanatvat. Okay, so that is what it is. Loka anubhavataha. See, loka anubhavataha hridi upalabhyate iti sarvaihi vachyamanatvat. See, this is how it is. Anuvada. These are called anuvadas. Guhayam sthitaha nishkamaha. See, now up to that we have come. So nishkamaha. See, akratuhu ayati. So ayati gachati praptanoti. What? Shokanasham tamakratuh pashyati vita shokaha. There is one more qualifier which has been given here, and rather the cause I would say, because it is a panchami. Dhatu prasadat. Dhatu prasadat mahimanam atmanaha. Atmanaha mahimanam yaha janati akratuscha yaha bhavati saha vita shoko bhavati. So this is what is the sum and substance. So akamaha we need not elaborate. So the point that has to be elaborated here is dhatu prasadat. Okay. So here he is using the word dhatvanugraha vashat. Dhatu prasadat dhatvanugraha vashat. So let me take you to Bhagavad Pada's commentary on dhatu prasadat. That is something which is very interesting. Ramarajas will come to in a moment. Bhagavad Pada says, Yada chaivam tada. Yada. Yada means Yada ayam akratuhu bhavati. Yada atmanaha mahimanam evam janati. Tada. So these two conditions are fulfilled. So then one more thing. Dhatu prasadat. Yada chaivam tada, then he says, mana adini karanani dhatavaha. So he is trying to define the word dhatu here. How does he define? Mana adini karanani dhatavaha. How do you get this meaning? So how do you get this meaning? Dhatuhu. Okay. So there is a suffix tun, so that comes, okay, Aunadika Sutra. But the dhatu is dhatu. Dha dhatu. See, dha dhatu. Okay. Dudai dharana poshanayoho, we can take it. So one can say dhiyate also, but we can just take it as dhatu because the compound is, though they have very, very similar meanings. See, even dha dhatu, so if you have this karmani prayoga, it will be dhiyate. Now you just take the meaning of the dhatu. Dhiyate asmin iti dhatuhu. Okay. So dhiyate asmin iti dhatuhu. So you give this vyutpatti for dhatu. So dhiyate, so that which resides in this, that which is supported by this, etc. If you guess, take the metaphorical meaning of this. Now he says, mana adini karanani dhatavaha. In fact, this entire sharira, without any of these indriyas and buddhi, so will it ever function? So it is all supported. the functioning of this person is supported by all these karanas, and therefore he is saying mana adini karanani dhatavaha. So this meaning is somewhat a paribhashika artha which has been created for this particular sense. So yesterday I was hinting you that we have the same word dhatu used in Ayurveda Shastra, which refers to 7 dhatus in this Sharira. Okay, so 7 dhatus which are listed, 7 items which are listed as dhatu. So there also you can stretch this meaning, say dhiyate asmin. So can you ever think of the Sharira without rasa, without mamsa, without majja, without asthi, without rakta? So it is impossible, and therefore you can take this meaning and fit it there also when it describes the 7 dhatus. See, rasa sanga mamsa medo sthimajja shukrani dhatavaha. So that is how the Ayurveda Shastra defines. Now Acharya here says mana adini karanani dhatavaha. He doesn't stop there. He further says sharirasya dharanat prasidanti. Sharirasya dharanat prasidanti iti yesham dhatunam prasadat. Dhatu prasadat means. So there also he just having said this, sharirasya dharanat prasidanti. This also is a very important phrase to understand. See, there is a very close connection between the karanas and the sharira cheshta. Very close connection. In fact, this is supported by that and that is supported by this. So there is the sharira, when I say, it refers to various other organs also. Okay? So the thought builds this and this builds the thought. Anyway, we have this, no? What did we have? Yesterday we were putting apisvashaktya tapasi pravartase shariramadhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. It starts with sulabham samitkusham jalanyapis snana vidhik. So this is a very interesting thing. We have to understand this. So this is very closely connected. This dhatu prasadat we need to understand. So even from the practical viewpoint of our own life, so what we see sort of influences and what we do influences the thought. See, so here even in the Kalidasa, say Kalidasa is an amazing person. So he brings in lot of sukshma dharmas into Kavya. So the first question that is being asked to her is apikriyartham sulabham samitkusham. So for you to engage in all these yajnas which have been stated here, are you getting enough things? So because there is a larger understanding. So larger understanding that there is a connection at a larger level. Sahayajñāh prajas srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadhvam yeshavosthu ishtakamadhuk. Ishtakamadhuk means whatever you want to get, if you have to get, you have to propitiate nature, you have to respect it. See, that is why Kalidasa starts with apikriyartham sulabham samitkusham. And then jalanyapi snana vidhikshamanite. Then he goes apisvashaktya tapasit pravartase shariramadhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. So now that is why Acharya here says, so even for you to engage in tapas, sharira has to be taken care. So the mind takes care of this and this takes care of that. This kind of a beautiful link between the two has been nicely brought out when explaining dhatu prasadat. The sharirasya dharanat. So I will do all kinds of activities through the sharira, then so this will not be possible. Therefore he says, the sharirasya dharanat prasidanti ityetesham dhatunam prasadat atmanaha mahimanam Karma nimitta vriddhikshaya rahitam pashyati. Okay, Atmanaha Mahimanam means this Atma is someone nakshiyate navardhate. Okay, so karma bhihi asamsprishta. Karma nimitta vriddhikshaya rahitam. Okay, so the upadhi that you get will be decided upon this karma, but Atma is asamsprishta. Okay, that is why he is saying karma nimitta vriddhikshaya rahitam pashyati. Ayamahamasmiti sakshat vijanati. If he knows this, then Vidashoko bhavati. Okay, so this is how the mantra is explained. Now let us come to Ramaraja's commentary. So we saw up to Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. In the second line of the commentary, he says Janto Praninam Guhayam. See, here again there is a problem. It should be Buddhau. Okay, not Buddho Sthita. Buddhau Sthitaha. Buddhau Sthitaha Tatra Upalabhyaha Ityarthaha. Then Nishkamaha. So Nishkamaha, so he is explaining as Vidwan. See, Nishkamaha means Vidwan. Okay. See, Nishkamaha is a very interesting thing. Nishkamaha. See, if there is time, I will quote some interesting verse. Nishkamaha Vidwan. See, he says Dhatvanugrahavashat. Dhatvanugrahavashat. So here he is explaining as Ishvaranugrahabalat. Then Manahprasadavashat itiva. Now he is giving two different meanings. Okay. So first is Ishvaranugrahabalat Manahprasadadi vashat. So Bhagavad Pada gave only the second meaning. Understand? So Manadini Karanani Dhatavaha Tat Prasadat. Okay. So that is what he was saying. Now he is bringing this meaning Ishvaranugraha Vashat. How would you bring this meaning? So you go back to the same thing that I was mentioning. See, Dhatu. See, what do you understand by Dhatu? Yesterday, in the previous class, that fellow was saying Dhatu means some ore, material ore, right? He was saying. That is also fine. So, dhiyate asmin. Kim dhiyate? Sisam dhiyate. Suvarnam dhiyate. If it is a suvarna dhatu, you understand? If it is ore of iron, ayaha dhiyate. So, you can say, there is no problem. Okay? So, that can be taken. So, when it comes to Sharira, it is another kind of a meaning. It is a Paribhatika Shabda. Now, you extend the same meaning to the entire universe. Sarvam dhiyate. See, Sarvam dhiyate asmin. If you just extend the meaning, then you can take Dhatu to mean Ishvara also. In fact, we have a few sutras in the Brahma Sutra which explain this. So there is one Adhikaranam, so which is occurring in the third pada. This is a famous Adhikaranam. See, it is called Aksharadhikaranam. It has three sutras. Aksharam Ambaranta Dhrite Sacha Prashasanat. So this is how it goes. See, Aksharam Ambaranta Dhrite. This sutra is to be remembered for us to understand this meaning. So there I will just read one or two aspects of a commentary which may be useful in trying to understand this. In the Aksharam Ambaranta Dhritehe, the discussion is on the Shabda Akshara. Okay, so Akshara, what do you understand? So by the word Akshara, so one can think of this 50 and odd letters which are available, right? Akshara Abhyasa, when you say, so what do you understand? Varna. So it is basically Varna. So we have a ceremony. So when you start learning, so you go to some good guru and then so start learning Akshara. This is Akshara. This is one Akshara. The other Akshara here is तद्वा एतदक्षरङ्गार्ग्यदृष्टं दृष्टश्रुतद्विश्रोत्रमतं मतं. So the question is, kasminnu khalvakasavotascha protascha. The answer that he gives is, sahovacha. Yajnavalkya replies, sahovacha idadvaitadaksharangargi brahmana abhivadantya sthulamananvahrasvam. Okay, so this is the Vishaya Vakya for this Adhikarana. So the Samshaya is, what do you understand by this word Akshara? So there he moves on and then presents Purvapaksha and then Siddhanta, and then so he says, see, either you can take as common Akshara or you can take the other Akshara which is being highly praised by the Shruti. Om is also an Akshara. Omkare Vedam Sarvam. So do I take that? So all these are taken as Purvapakshas. So then he says, Ityado Shrutyantare Varnasya Pipasyatvena Omkare Vedam Sarvam, it is said. So there, the other day I told you, it should be taken as Tat Sadhakatvat, you should just take it that way and not as the Atman itself per se. Okay? That is Upachara. Now, there is one more interesting thing. So his Vyakhyana for Aksharam Vambaranta Dhrite, he says, Prithivyadehe Akashantasya Vikarajatasya Dharanat. Prithivyadehe Akashantasya. See, Prithvi is a Mahat Padartha. But Tadapekshaya Sarvamahatvam Akashe Asmabhihi Anubhuyate. Therefore he says, Prithivyadehe Akashantasya Dharanat. Dharanat means in that, so in that context, the mantras actually proceed describing to be the dharaka of all these things, and therefore Akshara cannot mean. After all, Naksharadit Aksharam. Okay? So this is simple meaning that you can think of. But then what does it actually refer to should be decided based upon the mantras and the context of the discussion. So that is how you will see Bhagavad Pada giving the meaning appropriate for that occasion. Okay? Sacha Akasha Akasha eva tadotancha protancha ityakashe pratishthitatvam uktva kasminnu khalvakasha votascha protascha ityanena prashnena idam aksharam avataritam. Avataritam means this word akshara has been brought into the context in this. Okay, so in the context of answering this question, this has been brought in, and therefore, so how do you understand the word? See, it pratishthitam uktva, see, avataritam, and then he says tathacha upasamhritam etasmin khalvakshare gargyakashavotascha protascha, and so on. So therefore, the meaning that Ramaraja gives should be taken as yogikartha, purely yogikartha. Understand? So yogikartha. So see, rudhyartha is dhatu, the mineral ore, so in which we use, but there is a certain common thread which runs through. So it is in that sense he will say Ishvaranugraha balad, or you take the second meaning, which is a paribhashika artha. See, manah prasadadi vasat yam ayati gacchati prapnoti janati ityetat tataha yasya ayanat shokanasham samsaranashanam ayati bhajate muchyate ityetat. So we have completed the meaning of the first half of the verse. Okay, so gacchati. So here nishkamo yati dhatvanugrahavashat yam shokanasham tataha. Now, so we go to the second half of the verse. आसीनोऽपि सुदूरमेति च शयन् यः सर्वतो यात्यहो कस्तं वेत्तु मदामदं रविसुतात् देवं परोर्वाक्तनः. So this is, as I told you, is Shardula Vikridita Vritta. In Shardula Vikridita Vritta, the fourth akshara has to be Laghu. Okay? So if you see Yoni Ya Na, so Na is Laghu. So here if you put Vetum, then later Vetum is also correct. Vetu is also there. Okay? Vetu. So this is a lot of prayoga. Now you see. Vetu. So let us see now. See, he says Kastam Vetu. Who can understand him? So it is in the that kind of a expression. Kastam Vetu. Kaha etat pathatu. Something like that. Okay. Now you see, he says देहोपाधिवशात् आसीनस्य शयानस्य च आत्मनः मन उपाधिवशात् दूरगमनं सर्वतो गमने संभवतः इति भावः. Simply explaining. आसीनो दूरं व्रजति. So the word upadhi is to be very, very clearly understood. Yetadupadhikaha tadupadhikaha. So that is why he is carefully explaining this. See, Asinaha Duram Vrajati. See, if you have the mantra goes like this. Asino Duram Vrajati. Shayano Yati Sarvataha. Kastam Madamadam Devam Madanyo Jnatumarhati. So this is the mantra. So if you explain this, he says, Asino Pisudurameti. So literally, you think of like this. If you just take the meaning, so he is sitting, but he goes far off. How is it possible? Therefore, he is explaining, Dehopadhi vashat. So considering the physical sharira, asinasya, shayanasya cha atmanaha. So whether he is sitting, or he is sleeping, or he is lying in the bed. Shayanasyapi atmanaha. Some students I have seen, I always try to see so different faces, right? So suddenly, there will be eyes will be like this, no blinking, nothing. So if you see that, then you have to call him. So which means asinopi duram vrajati. Somewhere he is just moving around. So that is what he is saying. See. Shayanasya atmanaha. Okay? Mana upadhi vashat. That is what he is saying. Mana upadhi vashat engo bhramati. Mana upadhi vashat dura gamanam. See, sarvato gamane sambhavataha iti bhavaha asino duram vrajati. Now, he says, Aho iti viruddha aneka dharma samanadhikaranyat ascharyam. Viruddha aneka dharma samanadhikaranyat. See, this actually is called, there is an interesting alankara. The alankara is called Virodhabhasa. So there is an alankara called Virodhabhasa. Let me give you an interesting example. There is an interesting example in Virodhabhasa. I think I had noted it down somewhere. Let me see if I can get that. You repeat the verse. It goes like this. Apurvo drishyate vanhihi. Drishyate vanhihi. Apurvo drishyate vanhihi. Kaminyastana mandale. Kaminyastana mandale. कामिन्यास्तनमण्डले दूरतो दहति वाङ्गम्
दूरतो दहति
दहति वाङ्गम् हृदि लग्नस्तु शीतलः हृदि लग्नस्तु शीतलः हृदि लग्नस्तु शीतलः. It's a very interesting verse. This apurva means something which is very strange, as I was telling you the other day. This is a virodha bhasa. Say asino duram brajati. This looks like virodha, right? Right? This looks like virodha, but it can be resolved the way we understand the commentary. Asinaha shariropadhivashat asinaha shariropadhivashat api shayanaha duram brajati mana upadhivashat duram brajati. Now similarly here he says, see, this apurvo drishyate vannihi. This fire, what is the property of fire? So if it is there, so it is not burning you, right? If you go near, it burns you. If you touch, it burns. But if it is there, it does not burn you. But this fire, when it is close, it is very cold. When it is at a distance, it is burning. How? See, apurvo drishyate vannihi. Ayam vannihi apurvaha drishyate. Kirshaha vannihi. So then he says, Kaminyastana-mandale. So Kamini, Stri, Tasyaha Stana-mandale. So Stana-mandala, so that is a vanhi he is describing. See, Kaminyaha Stana-mandale. So what happens? Durato, when you are at a distance, Dahativa Angam. See, it burns me, so when it is at a distance. Durato dahati vangam. Okay? Angam. Me angam dahati. See, durato dahati vangam. On the other hand, hridi lagnastu sheetalaha. Hridi lagnastu sheetalaha. So this is an example of virodha bhasa. Understand? So similarly, we have virodha bhasa. So that which is very strange. Okay. Aho iti viruddhaneka dharma samanadhikaranyat ascharyam tam madam samadam amadancha saharsham aharshancha manastadatmya adhyasaditi bhavaha. So you can describe this person either way. He is a happy person, he is a sorrowful person. He is a person, who has a lot of arrogance. Okay? He is a person who does not have any mada. You can describe. So depending upon the upadhi or that state. See, saharsham maharshancha manastadatmya adhyasat. Okay? So manastadatmya adhyasat iti bhavaha. Devam Dyotanashilam Atmanam Ravisutat Yamat Paraha Anyaha. Arvaktanaha Arvachinaha Kaha Prani. So here you have to correct it as Vetu, not Vetum. Okay? Kaha Vetu. Asmadanyaha kaha vetu means, so leaving out him who can understand better. Asmadanyaha kaha vetu nakopi tirtha. Okay? Nakopi tirtha yadyapi Ravisutat praktanaha hiranyagarbhadhayaha viduhu atmanam tathapi na tataha arvachinaha asmadadayaha iti bhavaha. So, see, arvachina means, you should know, see, prachina, arvachina. So it is the opposite of that. See, people of recent times. So here he is saying, so this question seems to be somewhat audacious, right? So kaha anyaha na vetu means who nobody else will know. See, asino duram rajati shayano yati salvatah kastam madamadam devam madanyo jnatum arhati. So this is what you find there. Okay, so in the Shruti. So therefore he is trying to explain. See, madanyaha, because it is being stated by Yama, so it has to be Ravisuta. Okay, that is why he is explaining. Yadyapi Ravisutat Praktanaha. See, there may be various other people who were there before him, so they also knew. So how can he say? Okay. So therefore he is trying to explain Ramaraya. So though there were people who were ancient who knew this, but in the recent times not many knew. So it is to be understood in that sense. Tathapi na tataha arvachina asmadadayaha iti bhavaha. Okay. Idancha atmanaha durvijneyatva bhiprayena uktameva. So that is how you have to understand. It is like this. So suppose you say, suppose somebody is explaining something very well. So who else can explain this much better now? What does it mean? Nobody. Because nobody explained. Who else can sing better? Suppose you say. So how many do you know? So there are so many people in the tradition, hundreds and hundreds of them. See, recently I was reading. See, this Aradhana should be tempted to read. Sangeeta Ratnakara. Amazing the work. So he is defining everything so precisely. I am quite amazed. To work in some 13th century. So this Kova Jnatum Arhati means it should be understood in proper sense. So that is what he is trying to say. Idancha Atmanaha. What is the import of this? The import of this is Durvijneyatva Bhiprayena. So that it is something which is very difficult. It is very difficult to find a singer like him. That is what we mean. So abhiprayena uktameva katham anyata yamat arvattanam shukadinam atmajnatvam. So he is trying to explain the import of the verse. So then you have so many people, Sadashiva Brahmendra, you have so many Ramana Maharshi, you have Shuka, you have Vaman. So many other people are also there. Okay, so therefore the statement should be understood in the light of the understanding that it is something which is very difficult. Okay? So that is being metaphorically stated like this. Okay? It is extremely difficult. Okay? So durvijneyatva bhiprayena uktameva katham anyatha yamat arvaktananam shukadinam atmajnatvam. Okay. Now, see, before taking up the next verse, so I think that will take time. I will tell you one interesting thing, so which has to do with what we studied today. See, this word Anu. So in that context, I just picked up some two interesting things. Normally, what do you understand by Anu? Atom, right? So this is the general meaning that we get, right? So Anu means immediately some small thing which comes to our mind. So he is using Anoraniya. So this word Anu is also metaphorically extended to two other things. One is something which is in a very small measure. Okay. There is a see, in those days, I am just reminded of a very interesting verse which I have heard in some sabha. When Vaidikas sit for some bhojanam, normally one has to offer more ghee. Nowadays, I mean, they have also restricted eating. So So in those days they will eat. So some 30-40 years ago I am talking about. When I go to some sabha with my father, in one sabha, some fellow was coming and then serving ghee. So he had a very small tumbler and a small spoon in there. Tok tok tok, some drop was going on. Okay, he just passed it on. So the Shastri immediately quoted a verse. So that got registered. I think I will be able to recall. आनंद तांडवपुरे द्रविडस्य गेहे सौदामिनी वसिष्ठ वनिता सममाज्य पात्रम सौदामिनीव गगने प्रतिभाति दर्वी धारां विलोकयति कश्चन योग सिद्धः. Okay, understand this Anoraniyan? It just came to my mind suddenly. He says, so Ananda Tandavapura, this is a place. Dravidasya Gehe, some fellow's house, okay. Vasishtha Vanita Sama Madhya Patram. What is Vasishtha Vanita? Arundhati. Arundhati is a very, very tiny star. So the vessel which holds ghee is just like that star. Vasishtha Vanita Sama Madhya Patram. Then how does that fellow serve the ghee? Okay. Saudamini eva gagane pratibhati darvi. See, the spoon that he uses just flies like a flash of light in the sky. Saudamini eva gagane pratibhati darvi. Then where does the ajya fall? Where is the dhara? Only some yoga siddha can see the dhara. See? Vasishtha vanida samamajya patram. सौदामिनीव गगने प्रतिभाति दर्वी धारां विलोकयति कश्चन योग सिद्धः. I could not see. Some yoga siddha maybe perhaps can see the flow of the ghee from the spoon. Okay. Now why I am saying this is very small. Anoraniyan. I was just reminded of this verse. Okay. Anoraniyan. See. This is Anoraniyan. It is a very, very small measure. So then, even a tiny amount. So there is a very interesting usage in Manusmriti. So this I thought I will just share with you. So there is a verse which goes as Nakanyaya pita vidvan grinhiyat shulkam anvapi. It's a very important message. See, Nakanyayaha pita vidvan grinhiyat shulkam anvapi. गृह्णन् शुल्कं हि लोभेन स्यान्नरोपत्य विक्रयी. A very strong message. See, this dowry that we talk about today, I mean, is getting from the women's, so girls, bride's house. But in those days it was perhaps the other way around. So that is how the verse goes. Kanyayaha pita. So because he is doing some dana. So I am giving once and for all. Okay. Nakanyayaha pita vidvan grinhiyat shulkam anu api. So he should not take in even a bit. Okay. Even a small measure. He should not seek from the other side. Shulkam anvapi. Okay. Grinhan shulkam, if you were to lobhena. Okay. By some greed, avarice. Syannaro patya vikrayi. He will be described as a apatya vikrayi, selling. It is not a dana anymore. It is not kanya dana. It is selling her daughter. See? So this is how he says. Grinhan shulkam hilobhena syannaro patya vikrayi. See, this word anu is used. Even a small measure you should not take. Okay? It is a good message. In fact, when I see this Vikrayi, I am reminded of a verse in Bhagavata. He says, Yasta ashisha ashaste nasabhritya savai vanik. You understand? So in these kinds of activities, even when you show bhakti to Ishvara, okay, so the highest form of bhakti is not even expected. Just so there he says, Yasta ashisha ashaste, the one who seeks even blessings. nasa bhrityaha, he cannot be considered as the devotee of the highest order. Savai vanik, he is a trader of yasta ashisha shaste nasabhat savai vanik. Okay, so that does not mean you should stop doing bhakti, because see, even if it's, so that is the highest form of bhakti. Okay, so that is what he is trying to explain here. See, this is Anu. One more quickly I will just tell. So the Anu, he says, there is an interesting usage in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, 4th chapter, 1st mantra. Okay. 4th chapter, 4th adhyaya, 1st mantra. जनकोह वैदेह आशान चक्रे अथः याज्ञवल्क्य आवो राजा तम्होवाच याज्ञवल्क्यः किमर्थमचारीः पशूनिच्छन्नन्वन्तानिति. You see the word anvantan. So there it is used in the sense of subtle aspect. So this is a beautiful narrative. So Janaka is sitting relaxed. See, Asan Chakre means he was a little relaxed that day, and he said, anybody who wants to meet me can come and meet me. Okay? He is taking holiday. Asan Chakre. So then many people got this message that he will be available. Yajnavalkya also came. Atha Yajnavalkya avau raja. So when he came, Janaka asked, Tamhovacha Yajnavalkya. See, Yajnavalkya. He is addressing Yajnavalkya and then says, Kimarthamachari. So can you please tell me what is the purpose of your visit? So then he gives two options. Pashu nicchan anvanta niti. So is it for some yoga kshema you came? So Pashu nicchan, you wanted some more cows. So therefore you came. Or you came for anvantan. Is an interesting usage. So here it is not some small thing. This anu means something which is very, very subtle. Sukshma vastu. Sukshma means something which is very deep in understanding. So did you want to discuss something which is very deep in understanding, or you came for some yoga kshema? Pashu nicchan anvantaniti. So this word anu has different shades of meaning. So we need to understand. So the anoraniyan, so you can even understand as, so certain things are extremely difficult for me to understand, and this is far more deeper. Okay? You can even understand it that way. Okay? Pashu nicchan anvantaniti. Okay, so we will stop here. Om Sahanavatu Sahanau Bhanaktu Sahaviryan Karavavahi Yasvinavati Tamastu Mavidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarve Visikhinas Santu Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Mataschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om